10.2-inch iPad 7th Gen is the iPad for most people in 2020. Hear me out on this. Some people may disagree with me, and that's totally fine. Aside from the people who use their iPads for photo editing, video editing, yeah, there are some who edit full-blown YouTube videos, or just those who prefer having the most powerful and up-to-date product. The iPad 7th Gen is very capable to everyone's standards. Many people use an iPad for surfing the web, playing some light games, and watching videos. This iPad is great for watching content, and the speakers get pretty loud. It's the first entry-level iPad, which means you can enter the Apple ecosystem with a relatively low price compared to other iPads out there. A 10.2-inch display on the 7th Gen iPad is a step up from the 9.7-inch display. It's a slightly larger display in the same body as its predecessor. By the way, if you're enjoying, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and turn on the bell notifications, as it does help the YouTube algorithm and pushes my content to more people. The A10 Fusion chip, which initially appeared in the iPhone 7 back in 2016, is nowhere near as powerful as today's Apple design chips like the A12Z Bionic on the new iPad Pro, but it's a capable processor that can handle the majority of tasks that most people use their iPads for. For example, it can easily handle any word processing apps, web browsing in Safari, productivity apps, and even basic video editing apps like iMovie. Okay, yes, I said in the beginning of this video I wouldn't recommend this pretty much for video editing, but that is also only if you're going to be using this as your main driver for creating YouTube videos with lots of effects and high resolutions. In that case, I would spend a little more and go for the iPad Pro. Now, Apple's A10 Fusion chip might be a couple years old and might not perform like that of something like the iPhone 11 Pro or the iPad Pro, but that's fine. Why? Well, because Apple optimized its chipset so well that you don't need the highest end chip to complete your task. It's really awesome to see people in 2020 still rock an iPhone 6s, which came out in 2015. Compromise over innovation. The general consumer is looking for a product that will last them a long time, typically 4 to 5 years, sometimes even longer. Apple is super good with this. Now, we don't have Face ID, which is fine by me. Instead, Apple has decided to keep Touch ID on the 7th Gen iPad, which is more than enough. Let's hope that Apple brings Touch ID to their future products in some way. Moving on. Camera on this iPad. Okay, cameras on any iPad don't need to be iPhone-like quality. However, if you're persistent on using your iPad as a camera machine, this iPad is just not the one. They perform okay. You'll be able to scan documents and FaceTime your friends and family just fine, but using the iPad camera as your main shooter is just, well, you get the point. Battery life on this? Well, it's an iPad. It lasts me throughout the entire day. Take note that I only use this iPad for simple tasks like browsing the web and watching videos. I typically handle all my other work on my MacBook Pro, although I am leaning on trying out the new iPad Pro. Storage-wise, there are just two configurations. The 32GB base model starts at $329, and a 128GB goes for around $429, although you can often find it on sale for much less. Now, the typical user should be okay with 32 gigs, but if you're going to use your iPad to download movies, for example, the 128GB would be the model to go with. This is also the first entry-level iPad to support a smart keyboard connector as well as the Apple Pencil. Add iPadOS to that, and you've got a nice laptop-like setup going. iPadOS has some awesome features that also fit well with the iPad 7th Gen. For example, in iPadOS 13, you can enjoy multitasking with two windows from the same application, which has proven to be extremely handy for productivity. You also have the desktop mode in Safari, like YouTube for example, if you want to use that desktop site. Safari on iPadOS lets you download files similarly to a browser running on a traditional laptop. Other key enhancements include the ability to access files directly from an external source like an SD card via the Files app. This is just the beginning for iPadOS, and I know that iOS 14 will definitely bring even more features to give a more computer-like feel. At $329, the iPad 7th Gen is an amazing value considering everything that it's capable of. Most of the time, you can even find it on sale for less than $329, which makes it even a better value. Now, the iPad 7th Gen isn't the most powerful iPad like I said before, and it isn't rocking all of the latest bells and whistles that you'll find on the top of the line Pro models. However, it's arguably the most value-packed product in Apple's entire device lineup, especially in 2020. If you're looking for a new tablet, especially if it's for casual use like browsing the web, reading, media consumption, and word processing, this is the iPad to go with. Anyway, everybody, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to Superman that like button, comment down below, because with the more interactions we get on this video, not only helps the video and the channel, but also pushes the video out to more viewers. And best of all, Superman that subscribe button. Until next time, everybody, and until next video, this is MTG.